Another strategy to help with your energy management is to actually help you balance your blood sugar. Very, very typical for everyone, most people, to have this sort of carb heavy cereal, milk, orange juice, coffee, fruity yogurt, and first thing in the morning. Okay. And that is all just sugar at the end of the day. So when you're starting your day with a blood sugar spike, what comes up must come down. And if your blood sugar declines, your body's natural response is to increase cortisol and adrenaline. There are two hormones that can be literally, these are two hormones that can be literally life-saving. So they increase your blood sugar in response to lower your blood levels. Now, they want to get you back up to baseline. However, these two hormones are also responsible for waking us up in the morning. You don't want to be woken up at 3 a.m., which is exactly what happens when blood sugar dips at night. If you're having issues with sleep and waking up in the middle of the night, try a handful of nuts before bed, preferably pistachios, and see if you don't wake up. But then what we want to do is stop this habit, because remember, we don't want to eat anything 3 hours before bed. Now, these blood sugar extremes are literally life or death to your cells and your body. During periods of controlled blood sugar levels, your body does not prioritize focus, mental clarity, vitality, vibrant skin, proper weight management, muscle structure, hormonal balance, fertility, and so much more, right? Your body has one priority: to survive. And as you can imagine, it would be taxing on us mentally, emotionally, and physiologically to constantly be in a state of, will I die today, right? So think about how the deep inner workings of your body would feel in this reactive state, day in and day out, all right? So you'll see the spike actually, once you actually eat these unhealthy foods or these sugar-rich foods, they actually spike the blood sugar, and then it drops, and then you need to actually eat again. And this is where you get this concept of people being hangry, right? You're angry and you're hungry at the same time. You want to eat every 3 hours because of that blood sugar dip, giving you these cravings, increasing your cravings, increasing fatigue and brain fog. All right, so what do we do about it? Well, before what we do about it, I do want to talk about what happens when we actually, during all of these glucose spikes. So I talked a little bit about before, but really at the mitochondrial level, which are these like powerhouse, what actually cells, what sort of fuels, what powers our cells, they get overwhelmed and they start producing chemicals called free radicals. Free radicals harm our cells. They mutate our DNA and they lead to oxidative stress and inflammation. Remember, inflammation is that silent killer that will cause most of diseases out there. All right, so sweet spikes to this even more than starchy spikes, okay? Inflammation is the root cause of most diseases, as I mentioned. 3 out of 5 people will die in an inflammation-based disease. That is really scary stuff. So number 2, what happens during the glucose spike? When we spike, our body ages. Each glucose spike leads to glycation, which is the process of aging of our body. Glycation leads to many age-related issues. Number 3, when we spike, insulin gets released and excess glucose gets stored in our liver, muscles, and fat cells. This is one of the ways that we actually gain fat on our bodies, right? And we cannot manage our weight. When the spike comes from a sweet food as opposed to a starchy one, it also contains fructose. Excess fructose has its own detrimental impact on our bodies, such as cataracts to Alzheimer's. And when we slow down this glycation, we actually live a longer and healthier life. All right, so now what do we do about it? Well, blood sugar regulation is key when it comes to nutrition, and this is something that I hammer home all the time because it can make a huge difference in your sleep, cognitive performance, your emotional regulation, energy management, and overall health. So most of the neurotransmitters in your brain actually require stable blood sugar levels to be produced and released. These are things like dopamine, serotonin, GABA, right? They're the happy neurotransmitters, your motivating neurotransmitters, and your relaxing neurotransmitters, right? So everything that's going to affect your mood throughout the day relies on a stable blood sugar all day long. However, blood sugar can also affect your sleep at night, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, so what do we do about it? Here are some tips when it comes to blood sugar regulation. Try eating at the same time each day. Your body begins to expect meal times, right? So try to eat at the same time each day. Focus on relaxing as you eat. This helps to encourage your parasympathetic nervous system to rest and digest. Get ready to digest that food. You can even do a little bit of a prayer or a meditation. I have a beautiful one on my YouTube channel called Mindful Eating. Eat foods that are balanced, nothing too simple, carb rich, right? Eat real food, nothing that is processed, fake, or artificial. Remember to stay away from that crap food, that chemicalized, that refined, that artificial processed foods, right? They're literally killing us, okay? Like our body cannot break down all those chemicals and they spike our blood sugar through the roof. I love adding cinnamon, and I'm going to get to the supplements in a bit, as a blood sugar support wherever I can, right? On my fruits, and my other yogurts, maybe I'll add some cinnamon, okay? Always make sure each meal has 75 to 80% colorful veggies, some healthy fat, and a good palm-sized portion of protein, right? Whether it's wild caught, pasture raised, if it's animal based, or organic and non-GMO, if it's plant-based and animal-based as well. So begin your day with a balanced meal. Now, I know some of us, this is so hard because we're so used to eating a sweet breakfast. Try to have a savory breakfast as much as possible, okay? So maybe some spinach, mushrooms, peppers, and onions, and grass-fed butter or ghee or coconut oil, and add 2 to 3 eggs and cook them scrambled or over easy, however you like them. A dash of salt, pepper, oregano, right? And then there you go. You have, and then of course you sprinkle some olive oil, and you have raw olive oil. And you have this beautiful healthy fats, high protein, and a small amount of carbs. So remember, a balanced meal should be anywhere between 50 to 70, 80% of non-starchy, leafy greens, cabbage family, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, bok choy, beets, mushrooms, peppers, eggplants, carrots, right? 25% protein, whether it's animal or plant-based, and 25% starchy vegetables, maybe your beans, your peas, your lentils, your squash, corn, yams, sweet potatoes, and cassava. Of course, healthy fats, always, 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 okay? So that's kind of where, to balance your sugar meals, 1/8 protein food, 1/8 starch food, 3/8 non-starchy vegetables, and then some really good two tablespoons of really good olive oil. Now you can see here on this graph, the carbohydrates and sugar really spike that blood sugar, and protein and fat literally has no spike. That's why I like to fast in the morning and have some ghee in my coffee or coconut MCT oil in my coffee, because it does not spike the blood sugar. So during the fast period, I'm trying to limit the blood sugar spike as well. All right, this question gets often asked in terms of what supplements to use to help regulate blood sugar. I always say, please work with a practitioner and somebody that knows what they're doing to help you with the supplements. This can be also very tricky, but food first, right? So that's why increase your cinnamon, and because that actually helps with insulin sensitivity. So it actually helps you become more sensitive. So how well the body, and this is insulin sensitivity, is how well the body responds to insulin. Vitamin D helps to lower inflammation and possibly insulin resistance as well, and the possibility of insulin resistance. Magnesium improves insulin sensitivity, but it's also, I love magnesium. It's one of my favorite supplements because it's involved in over 300 different metabolic processes, but it's necessary to metabolize vitamin D. Berberine. Now, berberine has some positive effects on glucose metabolism, insulin resistance, and inflammation. And berberine has a long history within Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine as well. And then last but not least, chromium. So chromium is known to improve glucose metabolism. Also, there are formulas out there that actually include many of these and more, maybe some more adaptogenic herbs as well, like ginseng. So there are formulas that you can actually look out for. But again, work with someone when it comes to supplementation. All right, so what are some key takeaways? Key takeaways are the benefits of flattening your glucose curve affects your mental, physical, and emotional health. And other benefits, like you become less hungry, you have fewer cravings, you have better energy and sleep. You sleep so much better. Your immunity, you're boosting your immunity, right? You have fewer menopause symptoms. If you're a woman going through peri or menopause, you reduce your migraine frequency and you have better brain function. You have clearer skin and also improves fertility. For me personally, it actually helped me to reverse my PCOS, my polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, there, of course, being a functional breathing coach, there is also breathing techniques that you can do. And a breathing technique that you can do is breathing deep into the belly. I'm going to actually show you this. So basically what we want to be doing is breathing deep into the belly and actually regulating our breath so that we breathe deep into the belly. So we inhale through the nose and then we allow the belly to expand, but not only the belly, even the rib cage. So we call this, we want to sort of have a coherent breathing. So we want to breathe in for 6 counts and out for 6. If this is too much for you, you can start with 4 and 4. But you want to breathe deep into the lungs and maybe have your hands next to the rib cage and just feel the rib cage moving in, like so, expanding on the inhales, contracting on the exhales. So you can keep your hands here and just follow the breath in, out, in, out, in, out. So again, breathing deep into the belly, breathing through the nose for 6 counts, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, we want to feel that expansion and contraction of the rib cage and the belly. It's really the diaphragm, not really the belly. It's not really deep down here, but it's to make it a little bit easier to understand. And then we want to inhale through the nose and then out, preferably through the nose as well. If not, you can blow out through the mouth, just with a sigh. So kind of keeping your lips a little bit closed, and then just because it also helps you to extend the exhales as well. Now, this deep belly breathing is very well documented. Lots of good studies helping people with diabetes, insulin resistance, right? Because you're actually, with the breath, you're helping to maintain that regular pH, okay? That is also happening when you actually breathe nice and deep into the belly, engaging the diaphragm and engaging the entire system, respiratory system. So improving that respiratory resilience as well. I hope you enjoyed this session, and please give those foods a priority. There's lots of information on blood sugar lowering foods that you can take, as well as blood increasing foods that you want to avoid. And it's usually your ultra processed foods that really spike that glucose. Of course, if you have any of those signs that your blood sugar is off, then please seek professional help, a practitioner that can help you balance the blood sugar, because it is doable. It does not need to lead to type 2 diabetes, okay? You can definitely help to reverse it, balance it with so many beautiful holistic ways, including nutrition, better sleep, and of course, breath work. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Ciao for now.